Greetings, hi, hello. It is me. It is I, Emerald Amethyst, the author and the creator of the Kindergarten Chronicles. Welcome to the first official episode of the Kindergarten Chronicles podcast. This episode is called When I First Became a Teacher. I have a lot to say in only 30 minutes to say it, so we're going to just go ahead and jump right into the content. All right, so imagine we're back in the 90s because I was born in the 90s. I have my stuffed animals and I have my dolls, right? And, I'm taking attendance and then we're watching movies together. I'm telling all my dolls and my stuffed animals to be quiet so we can listen to the movie. And I took roll and made up names as I went because that's just what I did at like the age of 4. Now, my parents, when they saw that, they were just like, oh yeah, she's going to end up being a teacher because it's literally in my bloodline. But in my 4-year-old mind and most of my childhood mind, I wanted to be a ballerina pop princess that wrestled and did hair. Okay. But we already know I don't have any athletic ability. Like I would cry when we had to do the mile run because girl, no ma'am. But I can say that I'm still technically a pop princess because I sing with my kids every day. Like we sing songs every day to learn. And also with the hair thing, I've had to put more bows and hair ties back in hair. So I still think I accomplished half of my quadruple threat dreams. Okay. So basically I wanted to literally be anything but a teacher. Like that was not my dream at all. I was trying to run very far away from being in education because I just wanted to be different, because I thought it was quirky and cute to be different, because everyone in my family on both sides had either been in healthcare or education at some point in time, including my mommy. Hi, mommy. So, I, grow up. I'm in high school now. I'm actually having to think about what I want to do. And still running away from what I am doing currently. I was just like, okay, well, maybe I could try to be a labor and delivery nurse because, that was very interesting to me at the time. And I mean, it's still interesting because I'm just like, I wanted to help kids come into this world. It was great. It was cute. And so I applied to the college that I ended up graduating from because of their nursing program. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try to do the nursing program. It's going to be great. And then I saw the courses I needed to take, which was a lot of math and science. And I was like, girl, we don't math well. 2 + 2 is zebra cakes. No, 2 + 2 is Abraham Lincoln. Period. Point blank. I am not good at math. So finally, at the age of 17 or 18, I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to be a teacher. And I changed my major on my application to education, elementary education specifically. So go through the program. That's going to be a whole separate episode because that would take too long. Go through the program. And the last thing that you have to do before you officially become a teacher, besides taking the certification test, is the student teaching. Well, you have to take the certification test first, then student teach. You have to pass it. So I student taught 5th grade, and I loved it. It was great. I had an amazing supervising teacher. She was amazing. She knew how to break down what I needed to do, what I needed to say, how to say things, how to communicate to parents. She was amazing. And basically with student teaching, first you observe the teacher, and then you'll start teaching a subject like reading. I would teach the reading lesson for that day. And then eventually I was teaching everything, and then you put it in reverse. And that last month, you're supposed to give it back to the teacher. However, I didn't get that opportunity because they needed teachers. So they looked at the student teachers who had like the highest grades, and I was somehow included in that. And I'm like, wait, what? Y'all want me to go ahead and teach? Like, what you mean? Hold on. I don't know what I'm doing. They're like, girl, yes, you do. You have a 4.0. You're fine. And I'm just like, yeah, that's for the semester. Fix it, Lord. So, anyways, I was offered a job a month before I graduated. And I had to tell my supervising teacher, because she was like, you need to go ahead and take the job. You're ready. And I was like, no, I'm not ready. She was like, yes, you are. You're going to be fine. So I told her about the offer, and I was like, hey, they're offering a third grade position at a different school. They need teachers now. And the reason why this happened too is because I passed my certification test. I was certified to teach anyway, but I just needed to complete the program, which I was pretty much done with anyway. But I called my parents and I told them, and I was like, should I take the job? And they were like, yes, take the job. And so I was terrified because I was comfortable being the student teacher, because I knew I had someone alongside with me. Like if I felt as though I was going to like mess up, like she could come in and just kind of like help. But I was going from that to immediately having my own class at a completely different school. I don't know how the school works, anything. So I'm terrified. I'm 22 and terrified, y'all. So, because in my head, I was thinking, all right, I'm going to graduate from college. I'm going to sub for the rest of that school year, just sub wherever I go. And then I was going to get a job that summer and, build my own classroom and start in August. But God had other plans. God was like, oh no, baby, you going to teach right now. And I'm like, oh no, Lord, what is it? I don't understand. So I ended up accepting the position, even though I was terrified. And so, although I accepted the position, I had to still go through the process of applying, and which was the fingerprinting and all that other stuff. So I did all that, and I had to unexpectedly say goodbye to the fifth graders, and they looked at me, they were like, what do you mean you're leaving? And I was like, I got offered a job and I'm taking it, even though I'm terrified. So we did that. Mind you, it's November 2014. Go through all of that, and I go to the school that had the third grade position. Now, at this particular school, I had a portable that had no intercom, no room phone, and no fire alarm, which meant that I couldn't start teaching until I had those things. But I never, ever got the room phone. So what they had me do, because at this point, I didn't really have anything for my classroom. I had my teacher friends. They gave me little extra things that they had. And then my mom, she sent things, and my mom's coworkers sent things to me. So there was no theme. There was no cute little Pinterest. Oh my God, guys, it was just, here's the supplies. You just gonna have to teach because it's the middle of the year. Okay. So, I didn't really have the time to decorate because they had me subbing around the school. So when I say I threw that classroom together, I threw that classroom together, period. I had to. I didn't have time to be cute and Pinteresty and all that other stuff. And you got to think about too, in 2014, that was when the whole teacher Instagram, Pinterest teacher thing, that was starting to get really popular. So I, by default, was never that type of teacher because I had to just go. I just had to start teaching. So I finally get all that together, and my so-called team gave me the kids that they felt as though were not making them look good. I only had one team member I was cool with. She gave me stuff. She knows who she is. But they basically gave me the kids they did not want. And one thing about kids, they know when they know when they're rejected, and like, or they feel that rejection per se. So it was really, really hard to even get their behavior under control once I got everyone together. Because you got to think about it. They, since my so-called team wanted perfect scores and the perfect classroom and the Pinterest classroom and the perfect behaved class, they did away with the kids who did not fit what they wanted, basically. So I had those kids, and they immediately felt rejected. And I had to have mercy, because at first I was just like, I got to do this, I got to make sure I have my procedures down, I got to make sure I do the curriculum. But then I had to really sit and think, these kids feel rejected. Like, they legit feel rejected, because their teacher that they've had for a couple of months said, hey, you're going to a different class, bye. And it just like, they immediately came into my classroom on the defense and angry, because they've left what they know and they have to learn all these new procedures, all these new rules in the middle of the year. So I get that now that I've been teaching for a couple of years. I get that, but at the time I didn't. So day 1, day 2, we get through that. Thank you, Lord Jesus. But day 3 of me teaching by myself ever, I told a child, I said, hey, we need to get back on task, this, that, and the third. This child decided to destroy my classroom, find a yardstick, and chase my class across the campus. And I'm like, I'm living in the Twilight Zone. And I don't even know if my intercom was working at the time. No, I don't think my intercom was working at the time. They put me in there because they put the fire alarm in there. And mind you, this portable was like almost off the campus. So, girl, when I tell you, they did not have my best interest at heart. I'm talking about the adults. They did not have my best interest at heart, like, at all. Like, they were just kind of like, well, here. And I'm like, oh, okay. And anyways, so this kid chases my class with the yardstick across the campus. And so they ended up putting him back in his original class, because I threatened to quit that day. I was like, look, if it's going to be like this, I'm going to go back to student teaching, because this ain't it. And they can all just go back to their class. And they were like, no. And so they put him back in his original class. And then the kids, they helped me clean up my room as I cried, because I was just like, it was day 3 and my room was already destroyed with my little non-Pinterest cute thrown together classroom. It was already destroyed, and I was like, dear Jesus in heaven, I can't. So, but that day, when that happened, it kind of like let me know, like, when the kids helped me pick up the stuff, like, they that we would end up being a class family. And like I said, it took time for us to build that trust with each other, because I started in November, graduated in December, and then by like the end of January is when I finally was getting my rhythm. Because that first year, you're just trying to find your footing. Like, I'm not against the whole like cute teacher aesthetic with the Pinterest and the Instagram and all that. I'm just saying, you're not going to necessarily have that year 1. Like, because you're just trying to figure out what to do and how to teach. If you're only getting into it for the aesthetic, I need for you to look at the choices, because you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Because if you're trying to like be cute, and then you have a kid like flip over a desk or something, and you don't know how to handle that situation and evacuate the kids and all the other stuff, then you're just going to be just in tears all the time. So, all right. So, super quick ad break. This podcast is sponsored by me. Go to www.thekindergartenchronicles.com. I have merch and clothes. Well, actually, no. Shirts, crew neck sweatshirts, hoodies, bottles, mugs, stickers, and I have my Teachers Don't Get Paid Enough collection, my definition collection, I Teach Humans How to Humans collection, and the infamous No Treasure Box collection. So go and check that out. It's cute. It's great. I designed everything all by my own self. And order something. Like, even if it's just a sticker, it's going to be great. So, all right, cool. Back to the podcast. Boom. All right. So 2 months in, we, are doing what we finally need to do. But what solidified the class family is when I actually passed out from anxiety. I have my anxiety is pretty, Jesus. I think I've always had anxiety stuff, even as a kid, but I didn't start treating it until this time, around this time when I was 22, about to be 23. So one of the symptoms, if I have a full-on anxiety attack, I will literally pass out. I will hit the floor and not remember how I got there, basically. So that's how fluoxetine came into the game. So shout out to fluoxetine for keeping your girl together, period. When I passed out, the kids, they, of course, freaked out and they ran and got help. And it scared them so bad to where they're like, okay, we gotta for real be together. She really is for us. She's, we can't lose her too. So, that's what, made us become really close, actually. So I go through that. And, in my district, we have this mentorship program for first-year teachers, which, it's a good thing, but you got to have the right person. You have to have the right mentor, because you may not necessarily mesh well with, some people. Anyways. And I say that because mine was you're being threatened with an unsatisfactory. I'm just sis, I came in the middle of the year. This class was put together for not my benefit, but for my team's benefit, for them having better scores, which I will have to say this. At the end of the year, we made 90% proficiency, period. Okay. I had a whole bunch of RTI and ESC kids in my room with no assistance, which I don't, on a scale of 1 to legal stuff, I don't know how legal that was, but I don't know. Anyways, we made it work. And so she was kind of nasty about it. She was just if you keep on, you're not going to be able to be a teacher, and you're not really doing what you're supposed to do. Oh girl, it was a mess. My mama did not like her, at all, period, point blank. My mama did not like her. So, but like I said before, I went through that program, and my current principal made me go through it again because I had such a bad experience with my first mentor. So what I'm saying is, even if you don't have a mentorship program, you need to find people who are going to have your best interest at heart and actually be willing to help you and to listen to you and guide you through the year. So, of course, every day I wanted to quit. That was in my head, I wanted to quit. Every 5 minutes, I was I'm about to get my purse and go, because this is too much and I'm not getting help from the staff. I had a few people that I was cool with. I can count on one hand how many people I was cool with, but the rest of them, no ma'am. 80% of the faculty and staff did not have my best interest at heart at all. They literally wanted me to fail, and then they were mad when I didn't fail, and I actually was finding my way and trying to figure things out. it was a mess. Like, a lot of them purposely did not want to help me, like, at all. So I'm not trying to name any names. I'm gonna have to say allegedly, because people. Fix it, Lord. So I go through all of that, and I survived my first year. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. So where was I? Oh, Lord, I lost my place, Jesus. So basically, the kids and we fall in love with each other. So I found my rhythm. I found my footing in teaching. And it kind of became like us against the school in a sense, except for the few staff members that I was cool with. But like, it literally just became my class and like, we just stuck together, and we were just like, okay, we love each other. Miss Barton loves us. We love her. We gonna make it work. We're gonna learn. We're gonna do what we can. And like, should that ever be? No. Because that is not a healthy work environment to be in. Like, in reality, it should not be you and your class against the school. Because that should not be a thing. That is not healthy, because you're always on the defense, and girl, it's not healthy for you at all. All right. So, but I do have to say this. With me threatening to quit every day, I told my mom 2 days after I graduated from college, I was like, Mama, I think I got into the wrong profession. And she was just like, excuse me? She's like, you literally just graduated and walked across the stage 2 days ago, smiling and happy. And now you want to tell me that you don't want to do this? And I was just like, Mom, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I thought I would be good at this. And she's retired now from education. She's just like, look, your father and I done spent all this money, and if you're gonna get another degree in something, like, what else are you going to do? Because we helped you get one degree, but if you decide to get another degree, you gonna have to get it yourself. And I'm like, oh Lord Jesus. It just, like, she homegirl kind of went off. She was just like, are you kidding me? So I can't tell y'all the rest of what she said, because I'm trying to keep it rated G on here. But I basically wanted to quit every day. Probably up until like February, I wanted to quit all the time. But then by February, I only wanted to quit like once a week. Well, 3 times a week. And then eventually, like, I was good and we made it work, and it was great. So the end of the year comes, and I've made the executive decision that I am not going back to that school. Like, period. Like, I got the contract to come back for the next year, and they saw that my proficiency was 90%. And they were like, oh my God, we got to keep her. Like, keep her. Then they started trying to like treat me nicely once they saw that the proficiency was, really high. And they thought that I was like giving the kids the answers. I was like, no, I actually took the time to teach them. Okay. We didn't just like play bingo and watch movies all day. We got down and taught. So then they started being nice to me, quote unquote. And I signed the contract saying, okay, fine, I'll come back. But in the back of my head, I said, I ain't never coming back here. Period. I'm not coming back. Like, I'm not. Like, y'all finna get the rude awakening of your lifetime. Like, I'm not coming back. And my mom was just like, Emerald, you might have to stay because, like with things and like, just give it a full year to see, if anything changes. And I was like, look, I'm not about to be disrespected by these adults every day. I'm leaving, period, point blank. And I was determined to leave. So that's when I applied to a whole bunch of schools, got a whole bunch of rejections. Like, some, they like wouldn't even interview. And I had maybe 1 or 2 interviews. But my current principal, she saw something in me. And I interviewed, and she saw something in me, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a chance. And I thank God until this day. She literally helped me get through my 20s. She literally mentored and coached me on what to do, because by the time I went to my current school, like where I'm at now, teaching kindergarten, I was like a traumatized, wounded bird. Like, I just was like, I couldn't fly. My wings were broken, because at the previous school, they had broken me down so bad to where, like, they literally tried, they dimmed my light for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And my current principal, she like really helped me become the teacher I am today. Now, she has accepted the fact that I'm crazy, but like, it's a good crazy. And she knows that I'm a hot mess, but I'm a more mature hot mess now. And that's all that matters. So, yeah, that was my first year. Like, well, first half year. But like my first year teaching kindergarten, I can tell y'all right now, I did not want to teach kindergarten at all. However, because like when it was presented to me, I just was trying to leave the school. And they were just like, there's this position. And I was like, that is terrifying, but I will do it. And 2 weeks into the school year at my current school, I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. Don't ever take me out of kindergarten. Period, point blank. And that first year was decent. You know, I had to learn how to teach kindergarten, which I had a pretty good concept on that. And I had a couple of coworkers that were trying to be shady, you know, try to spread rumors or whatever, but it didn't work. Well, they were just mad and jealous because I was 23 and I knew what I was doing. Like, I wasn't completely lost in the dark. Like, I had already gone through like my deer in the headlight phase at my previous school. So my current school, girl, it was a cakewalk compared to what I went through previously. So that's why I kind of had a better idea on what to do and how to teach in my classroom management and all that other stuff, because I had gone through the boot camp at my previous school. Okay. I think I can appreciate the experience now at 30, because it molded me into like who I am. Like, I'm still not a Pinterest teacher, and I found out, you know, that's not my goal. My goal is to teach these kids how to read and prepare them for the next grade. Like, I learned that, you know, with this, I'm just going to call it boot camp. I learned that it was not going to be all rainbows and sunshine, and it was not going to be just Pinterest and good vibes and outfits of the day and all that other stuff. And when I made that duet on TikTok from the Orc teacher, she said that, like, a really good point that she made, and I'm about to wrap it up. A really good point she made was, when we got into teaching, all the Instagram and Pinterest, that was just starting, and we were mad because it wasn't like that. And so now I feel like it's my duty to let everyone know, hey, this is what I went through. I'm not saying you're going to go through exactly what I went through, but I'm just letting y'all know it's not going to be what you see on the internet. So I hope this helped. If anyone has any questions, y'all can just inbox me on Instagram. Next week we will be talking about, what are we going to talk about next week? Next week we're going to have the top 5 kindergarten teaching stories ever in my career. That should be fun. I already have it written down. Y'all follow me on all my social media, and go to www.thekindergartenchronicles.com so you can see where I'm at. And if you follow me on Instagram, my link is in my bio. My link tree is in there, and everything you need to know about me is on there. Thank you all for listening. Y'all have an amazing day, night, wherever you're at. If you're in your car, okay, you can go in the house now, because I know you probably got stuff to do. All right. Much love to everybody. I love you all very much, and I will see you next time. Bye.